Good morning, everyone. My name is John McInnes. I'm the president of Print Audit, and I'm happy to be able to spend some time today showing you our newest iteration of our Sharp Embedded, which is a giant leap forward of technological innovation for a Sharp device, and what we think is probably the best Sharp Embedded system out there for managing print. The agenda for today is pretty simple. I'm going to go through a on-screen demo of how the Sharp Embedded works, and I'm going to then spend a little time with a quick presentation on some of the things that we've done here at Print Audit. I'd like to welcome you all, especially our Print Audit Premier dealers, including Sharp Business Systems, SBS, Complete Business Systems, Pitney Bowes Canada, Standard Office Systems, Philips Office Systems, CIP, Illuminat, and Luan, who are all Print Audit Premier members. Thanks very much for being part of the club. Okay, another quick piece of administration here. You guys are all muted, and that's the way the system is built to work. What we'd like you to do is, if you have questions, there's actually a questions pane at the bottom of your screen where you should be able to send questions. Just send the question to our staff, and I'm just going to try and bring this over to the screen so you'll be able to see it. It's right here, the questions. So if you write in a question, send it to the staff. What I'll do is I'll answer your questions at the end of the presentation. I'm hoping that we can be all through this in about a half an hour, so it'll be very quick. And without further ado, I'm just going to move this back off of the screen and we'll get started. So to get started, I'm going to show you our secure release portion of the Print Audit Embedded for Sharp. But first I need to print a job, which I'm going to do right now. And once it prints, there we go. So it's printed, and down in the bottom corner here it says, where you can't see it unfortunately, it says Print Audit Secure, successfully secured, Microsoft PowerPoint, Sharp Embedded. Now, on the screen, you should be able to see in a couple of seconds here. This is one of the nice things about Sharp copiers is to show off and present and play around with them, is you can actually control into the actual copier. So this is our 2600 that's in our office, and this is what you see on the panel. So even though I've got it on the computer screen here, and it just crashed out, just one sec. It takes me a second to get it back. Even though you can see it on the computer screen, it's exactly the same way as it would be on the panel. I'll bring it back up. There we go. I lost my connection there. Okay, so let's start with release print jobs. So as you saw a second ago, I printed a print job. It was the first slide, which was that joke that I had up on the screen. It was the first slide of my presentation. So you walk up to the copier. Imagine me gingerly walking up to the copier, and I've got two choices at the copier: copy, scan, fax, or release print jobs. So I'm going to go for the release print jobs to start off with, and because I'm clicking with a mouse, it's going back to the system and coming back, so it's a little bit slower here, but not too bad. Then it asks for a PIN code. Now what happens when you click on any of our fields within this system, it will pop up with the Sharp keyboard. Now you can either use the hard keyboard or it'll pop up with the soft keyboard, which you see here. So I'm just going to put in my code. You click OK, and then you have to click login again. This is a limitation of the system. Some people notice that it's 2 clicks to get logged in. Unfortunately, it's just a limitation of the system. Sharp doesn't pass on the OK or enter signal, so we have to click login again. And it's going back and forth. And sorry, it's slow to load on here, but again, this is a remote connection. So as you can see here at the top, this is all the jobs that I've got waiting in my secure queue. The nice thing about this as well is that, as you can see with the second job here, we'll be able to tell if you've printed this to another device, let's say an HP or something, and we'll be able to tell whether it's compatible or not to be printed off of this device. In this case, it's not compatible to be printed off on this device, but of course the one that I just sent, which is the Microsoft PowerPoint Sharp presentation, is able to be printed. So I'm going to click on this, which you'd be doing with your finger on the screen, and then I'm going to release. But you can see as well, before we go through this, before I actually release the job, you've got release all. So it's essentially a quick release, which people asked us a long time ago to put into the system, and so now there's a quick release for all of your documents. Cancel, refresh job list, and then we'll log out in a second. But right now I'm going to release the job, and it says please wait while the jobs are released, and so they're actually being released from the central Print Audit Secure server, or servers, however you've got it, to the device, and I can actually hear it printing out right now. So that's as easy as Print Audit Secure is for secure release on the Sharp MFPs for your customers. Okay, so I'm going to log out this piece because really there's not much to show. It's very, very powerful, easy to use, and really, really intuitive for your end users, and that was kind of the key here. So I'm going to log out of this portion, and after a few minutes the system will log out on its own if your people just walk away. So the next big piece here, and this is where a lot of the new and innovative features, and we've really, really worked hard from our previous versions of the Sharp Embedded to take out clicks. The embedded systems and the embedded platforms, whether it's Sharp, and actually Sharp's pretty good compared to others, they're a little bit clunky in the way that we can get information back and forth out of their soft keyboards or hard keyboards into our system, and to reduce clicks because they don't pass all the information that we'd like to. We work pretty hard with the manufacturers to try and get them to improve their ends of the system while we're improving ours. But one of the things you'll notice about what I'm going to show you for those people who are used to our older systems is we have significantly reduced the number of clicks. So let's try a copy scan fax. So in this case, we're standing up at the machine, and it's asked you for some sort of credentials. Now, credentials, we've just done PIN code here. You can do swipe card, and that's the same with secure as well. You can do swipe card, you can do username login, all sorts of things, but of course the PIN code is the most simple. So I will put in the PIN code for me on Print Audit 6. Click OK, and again it fills the field, and then you click Login. And the login, again, what we've tried to do here is we've tried to make the interface extremely intuitive for the end user. So we could start just typing in a name or whatever, and then it will break down the search, and so if your customer has thousands of client codes, let's say a law firm, you can search based off of a smaller criteria in this case, or you can search the whole thing. So that's what I've done here. We've only got 4 clients here. Now the really neat thing about Print Audit in the way that it works is when you choose a client, let's say Acme, and say OK, then it has what are called joined fields, and the joined fields essentially are contingent on what you chose before. So in this case, I chose Acme, and so my choices for the next screen were Roadrunner versus Coyote, and you'll see in a second that the choices are contingent on the previous choice. So that's a really, really nice for law firms, architects, engineers, all those sorts of folks. So I'm going to do Roadrunner versus Coyote. Click OK. Click OK again. And we'll set up and then the machine will have pretended to have sent a copy. And again, this is because this is a system that's VNC, we're not actually copying anything, but I'll show you what the job would look like out the back end if we had clicked copy on the machine. So without further ado, we'll jump out of the panel of the screen, and I'm going to jump into the job manager. So as you can see here on the Job Manager, when it's popped into, and so this is the what Job Manager is this is one of the reporting tools that Print Audit 6 has in it, and essentially it shows all the print jobs from everybody: print, copy, scan, fax, what have you. It shows you all of the jobs that you have sent to the machine. Sent through that machine, or any of your print jobs within the organization. As you can see, and I'm going to scroll slowly, there is a ton of information with every print job, and it just keeps going on and on and on. We can get up to 30 or 40 fields of information on every single print job. And I'm going a little bit quickly on this, but essentially it's showing print jobs that have gone through, or copy jobs, so in this case embedded copy, what my computer was, the matter description, the company, the user, all sorts of information on that print job. And of course then you can take that information and you can report on it in any way, shape, or form. You can start to apply rules, and this is the natural connection for copying, scan, and faxing to Print Audit's print tracking, which of course tracks everything from every device, whether it's local, IP, or whatever. So really, as quickly as I could, I went through and I showed you how the system works and how many clicks we've tried to take out of the system, and it really has been a significant amount, and I hope that your customers and your users appreciate the time that we put into taking out clicks, but also appreciate how easy the system is. And as we mentioned in our promo for this, this is now included in the Premier subscription program, so anybody who is a Premier member gets this as part of their units, and so it's essentially included or free with Print Audit Premier. And to that, I'm going to jump on to the next part of the presentation here. So we're at 9:12. I'm going to spend probably the next 5-10 minutes going over some of our innovations with Premier, what it is, for those guys that don't know, and then I'll zip into questions. So Print Audit Premier is essentially a new business model from Print Audit that has been changing the way that business equipment dealers and MPS providers benefit from offering solutions to their customers. The premise is pretty simple. We get the benefit of a flat subscription fee, and our Premier members have enough licenses to build a recurring revenue stream that is several times the subscription fee, and that's really it. And that's why we're getting people signed up all the time, is because they're getting a new revenue stream. Really the basis of, or what our promise to these customers, to the Premier customers, is we want you to win new customers, you keep your current customers, and make a lot of money. So on the winning new customers side, I'm going to give you two quick stories. The first one is around user-based assessments. What we've found and what our dealers find is that most of our Premier members find is most of their competitors are simply doing device-based assessments. So they're telling them how many pages are coming out of them and giving them some information just about the machine, whereas our Premier members are using user-based assessments based off of the Print Audit 6 software, assessor software, and really when you're telling a person about what they're printing, you're going to sell the mental and the sales objections disappear pretty quickly, and you got a huge leg up on your competitors by being able to say, here's what the users are printing, what they're printing to, where they're printing to, what kind of documents they're printing, all that sort of stuff. And so with a user-based assessment, our dealers are closing way more deals than they used to. They've got almost a 50% close rate, which is much, much higher than we've seen in the normal marketplace. The other thing about the winning new customers is you guys are in a really tough competitive marketplace, and it all comes down to cost per page and what you can put into your cost per page model. People that aren't on the Premier program, essentially what they have to do is they may be up against another competitor who's offering low-cost pages, and you're offering low-cost pages. To add something in is going to cost more on your per page value, or you're just going to swallow that cost. With the Print Audit Premier program, because you've got as many licenses as you can possibly use, it's not tough for you to add more value into a deal without having to increase your cost and going out to pay a third-party company like us more money. So that's why the competitive pricing and superior proposals are, but you've got competitive pricing and superior proposals by being able to throw in the software. And so our dealers are winning new customers every day, and it's in the hundreds. The next piece is keeping current customers. This is really, really key. We've tried to, when we built the model, we tried to think of, okay, how do we make sure that our dealers, once their contract is over, that they get to renew that customer, that they keep that customer. We found out of our own maintenance statistics that we've kept 85% of Print Audit customers for the last 13 years, but they've switched dealers at least 2 to 3 times. And when we decided that we were going to become a 100% dealer-based company, so all of our focus would be on building out our programs for dealers, we tried to figure out, okay, how do we make sure that they stay with the dealer as long as they're staying with us? And essentially, you now own the software. So when you're on subscription with us, you're the one that's paying for the subscription. When you put it on your customer site, they can't just keep it like they could today if they were buying us or a competitor in a straight purchase model. If they want to leave you and go somewhere else, they have to give up that software. And that is a massive sticking point for somebody that's doing cost recovery rules, any sort of internal assessment, anything or even environmental reduction. They do not want to get rid of this software, and we've heard that lots and lots. So we want to make sure that your customers never leave you. The next piece here is make a lot of money, and it's not just any money. This is recurring revenue and lots of it. Now, when we built the program, we looked at how do we make Print Audit a stronger company, and this has nothing to do with you, obviously, but in the end it does, really. We wanted to get ourselves to a good recurring revenue stream, and we wanted our dealers to be in a good recurring revenue stream as well. And so, as I said with the premise, you pay us a small flat fee, you can make several times that flat fee in recurring revenue. So with the old model, you might be buying Equitrack, you might be buying PaperCut, you might be buying Pharaohs, you might be buying us, you could even be buying Uniflow, but each one of these things is a single commission or a single difference in cost that you're going to get on a one-time basis for each of them. And, you know, for us now, in the way the model works, this is really just sweeping money away when you can be building a revenue stream each and every time you sell the software. And so what this graph shows, and we've used our competitors' names in here just because they're on the old model. They've got great software, there's no doubt, but they don't have the model that we have, that each additional sale, as you grow, moves up and up and up, and each different sale is another dollar that you're getting every single month. And we teach you how to do this, and all of our dealers today, the Premier members, are making as much as 10 times their investment monthly. The average is 3 times, with all of them being profitable. So it shows that it takes a little while for this to grow, but typically we're in about 60 days to profitability for our Premier members. So that's massive, and every dollar above that 60 days is another dollar of recurring revenue. And so we've got several people that are making $25,000, $30,000 a month off of a very small fee from us. So that's really key, that recurring revenue, making a lot of money. We love recurring revenue, and we love giving it to our dealers as well. So why should you switch from where you are now if you're not a Premier member? And I know there's lots on here. 80% of our 240 Premier members around the world switch to us from competitors. Since we have not lost one of them, I think it's safe to say that they are very happy. They all had the same objections and concerns that you do. So we'd really like you to give us the chance to show you why this model, our products and services, are just simply better for you. And after that wonderful ad, I'm going to move on to questions about Sharp. Angie, do we have any questions?
Yes, we do. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We have a question from Danielle, and she's wondering, for a law firm, can the case number be entered from the desktop?
Not for a copy job, but for a print job. So, and Danielle, if I haven't answered your question, or any of you guys, if I haven't answered your question, feel free to follow up with another question on the screen, because we've got a lot of people here today, so I just don't want to unmute everybody. But the answer is absolutely for print jobs. You enter in the client code information at the workstation, but if you're standing at the copier with paper on glass, then you enter that information at the copier.
Thanks, John. We also have a question from Mark, and he's wondering, why is this being shown on the Sharp MX 2600? He says that Sharp has upgraded this product 3 times, so he just wanted to know why.
Because Sharp hasn't sent us a new device. We test at dealers' places, but this is the one that we have in the office. So as soon as Sharp sends us the newest one, we'll be able to show it. But we just go off to our dealers in Calgary to test out the newest systems. Sorry about that.
Okay, and that seems to be all we have for questions. As John said, if you would like to ask a question, just please type it into the question box and we'll answer that for you. Okay,
good. And it seems that we're on time here as well. I think we'll just give it another second here, but yeah, we're pretty excited. We've got a lot of Sharp dealers, obviously, that are Premier members. We look to improve this all the time, but in the future, as these questions are coming in, we're also right now building a Kyocera Mita embedded that we expect to have out in the next, hopefully by the end of the year, is the plan. We're building a Lexmark embedded, and we're looking right now at what the next platform is going to be for us. And so we're pretty excited that within the next year or so, we should have plenty more embedded coming out. We'd like to stretch across all manufacturers within the next couple of years. So that's a real key for our dealers to be able to differentiate themselves with their customers. And you know, those side boxes that we sell now, the copy audits that work great with every copier, they are expensive, and they're just more moving parts, whereas we like being on the platform. So we're excited about that. Angie, any other questions?
Yes, we do. We have a question from Tim, and he's wondering, what is the pricing structure for the desktop printing piece?
It's a good question. So for Premier members, there is no pricing structure. We get paid a flat fee. Other than that, we do have other structures that my best suggestion would be to call the number on the screen and ask for Rob, and he'll take you through our various pricing structures. But for the most part, we almost only sell Premier or some sort of subscription, so it's included in that, I guess, is the answer. Now, if you're going to go off and charge, when you go off and charge your customers on a monthly basis, we suggest from anywhere to $1 to $5 per month for access to the embedded or the desktop software. Okay, Angie, that it?
No, we have one more that just came in from Jake. Do you receive information on all devices that are in the client's fleet, or just on the device that is embedded?
All devices in the client fleet. So we don't miss any. And this is, let me make clear, this is for printing. If people are printing any device that they print to, we will capture it because our system works off of the desktop. Wherever a user clicks on print, we capture that information no matter where it's going. For copying, if you want to track the information of them laying paper on glass, then something has to be installed on the copier, like the embedded, as I've shown you here, or with some of the other manufacturers that we work with, like Canon and things like that. You'd have to have our copy audit hardware that sits connected to it. But the answer is we can always get all the information.
Okay, that seems to be it for the questions, John.
Thanks, Angie. Okay, well, we're on time here. We're actually a little bit early, so I'm excited about that. We'd really like to hear from you. Our guys would be happy to take you through the value proposition of Premier. I just sort of scratched the surface of it, but our Premier customers from around the world would be happy to talk to you as well and tell you how well it's working. And if you're interested in trying out the embedded software, we'd be happy to figure out how we can do that for you. And we'd love to hear your comments and suggestions because we're always improving this stuff. So without further ado, I'll let you go, and thank you for giving me some time on your day today.